Yo, what's up? It's LV. Learn some. Alright, now in today's video, I'm going to talk about a book called Linchpin. It's by a guy named Seth Godin. It's a book about not being dispensable in any type of way, not being able to get fired out of nowhere. And if you do get fired or laid off or whatnot, you can easily find you another job or another place where you can apply your skills. And he goes over in this book, how do you become a linchpin? That small piece that holds everything together. First big point I want to talk about is the system. He talks about something that's called the system. We all know what the system is. The system, Big Brother, the man, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Just checking out some shit. I'm a busy man. But anyway, the system, and I read it here. This is what it is. The system is based on a simple formula. Do your job, show up, listen to your boss, stick it out, work hard, be a part of the system, and you will be rewarded. He states in this book that this is over. Now, those days of being a cog in a machine are over. If you want to just do your job, just listen to the boss, then you can be replaced. In fact, your job can be outsourced. There's another quote in this book that I'm going to say that's very profound as far as it goes about just being in the system and learning how to break away from it and understanding this is what it is. And it goes a little something like this. Check it out. If we can measure it, we can do it faster. If we can put it in a manual, we can outsource it. And if we can outsource it, then we can get it cheaper. So for all those people that were getting jobs that got laid off at those big companies where they were getting paid $60,000 a year to do something that 5 people can do for about $7 an hour, those jobs have been replaced and they're never coming back because those jobs can easily be done by a couple other people with minimum competency for cheaper rate. Or they can just take the job altogether and move it to India or China. And he goes over in the book that we are in a different state. Like we're out of the industrial age and we're into something he doesn't even know what it's called. I just like to call it the age of e-commerce. So most things are through the net. You can purchase things through the net. You can get a vibe of a person through the net. Learn something, and actually figure out who the person is through different avenues. So you don't necessarily need a big entity, whereas in the past you needed a Coca-Cola to back you up, you needed Nike to back you up. You can actually blow yourself up just with hard work and dedication on building your own brand. Learn how to build a brand, and you got this, man. You got this. It may take a couple of years to develop yourself to the status in which you can actually have employees and go out and venture and do different things, but it's worth it. It's so worth it. And he goes over that in this book about being an artist, and that's the next thing. Touch on. Now, an artist is someone who uses emotional labor. They build relationships, they take initiative, they have direction. They don't need a person over them every second telling them what to do. They can be the managers in certain groups, but as I read this, that's not even the case. But most people who are the linchpins can organize people, get people moving in a direction, and allow those people to actually do the job themselves to build humanity within the workplace. Another book that I may go over that expresses this very deeply is Jim Collins. I'm trying to remember the shit. From Good to Great. That was really good right there. That explained what good management, good CEOs, good bosses do, and in order to get things done within the culture of a corporation. Now, one thing I want to go over, because I said that word boss. In this book, he kind of explains why that's so. He says that it's okay to have someone who looks over you, who you work for, who pays you. But the moment you treat that person like a boss, like someone in charge of your movements, off of me. You know what I mean? Like someone who's in charge of your movements and your output. You are a cog and not an artist. Done. Another point I wanted to leave you guys with is this. A day's work for a day's pay. He goes over that and states it very simply. That's bullshit. Because with a day's work and a day's pay, you only give an even exchange. There's no bond built there. There's no person saying, I like this person, I owe this person. Now, if I look at you and I give you your money, like if I have a business and you come into my establishment and you buy something and I just give you your money and you walk off, day's work for a day's pay. There's no bond built. So you know what that person's gonna do? Since they look at every company the same way, they're gonna go to the cheapest one, because I don't add any emotional labor. I don't add any value to that person in their situation. A linchpin adds that value. A linchpin is a part of a system that cannot be interchangeable. The problem is that everything, as far as this book goes, as far as Seth says, is that everything, as far as the systems, has become so interchangeable. And Henry Ford started it all off by creating the automotive system. You know, he didn't create the car. He created the system in order to manufacture the cars at a great level. At one point, it was a guy getting 50 cents a day to do his part. He got like $5 in a day to watch over a system work. So he got paid to be a manager over a system. So we bought into this. So when that happened, you know, we're down in 2015 where we have people who are a part of an interchangeable system where they become interchangeable people, where you don't necessarily need these people. You could just get another person to replace them. You could just replace a McDonald's worker. You could just replace certain doctors. Like he go over how some firms, some law firms, they don't have to have great lawyers. They just have to have a great system with good lawyers. And the lawyers, with that being a fact, they become replaceable because there's more lawyers every single year. And to stand out is to be a linchpin. Now, I don't want to make this too long because there's so many great things in this book. He goes over one thing called the resistance, your lizard brain, how those things stop you from shipping. Can't forget about shipping. Most people they stop themselves in their tracks because of their fear of not being ready, not having enough information. And he says that ship out consistently. Consistently ship out the product. Do not worry about it. Become consistent in shipping and your product will only get better. If you constantly try to work on things, work out the kinks and get caught up in what he calls thrashing. Thrashing is when you work out those last minute kinks. You kind of see some things and then, you know, go over it, rewrite a script. Like me with this video, I have to redo the intro, but you're never going to see the bad intro. You're never going to see the bad intro because that's a part of thrashing. I give you only what I feel is the best. Now, I want to leave you with a couple of questions. Think about these very hard because these are going to be some things that I feel are going to be very, very helpful to you. All right, now the first question is this. How much money is enough for you to be exceptional at your job? How much? I hear people saying, they don't pay me enough to do that. That ain't even my job. I don't do that. That ain't even me. Like, I hear people saying this. So how much is enough? Think about this hard. How much would be enough for you to actually do a job that's not your job, or they don't pay you enough to do that? All right, the second question is this. What is the difference between a cook and a chef? Sub question. Why is there no chef books, but there are cookbooks? Think about those. And don't forget to like my video, share my video, comment below, and until next time, learn some.